Breakfast with your Coys. Oh yeah. Breakfast with your Coys. Breakfast with your Coys. Oh yeah. Breakfast with your Coys. Breakfast with your Coys.
Yes, welcome to Pure Coys TV. It is Thursday morning, January the 22nd, and Spurs are doing very Spursy things. And that is absolutely nothing in the transfer window. We will get into it, guys. Welcome to the show. It is Thursday morning. It's quite dull here. It's quite wet, as always. Guys, let me know what it's like where you are. Oh, I don't know how to feel at the moment. I've got to be honest. I do not know how to feel. Great win the other night in the Champions League. Fantastic win. On the verge of qualification. But I just feel a bit empty with the club. I don't know about you guys. I know how you feel. I just feel a bit empty at the moment with the club. Guys, before we get into the show, please do me the honour of liking the stream. It is so important. We can get over 50 likes, pushes me out to more people. And if you haven't, hit that subscribe button as well. Also so important. I am trying to grow and any help would be much appreciated. So the transfer window is open and Spurs are doing Spursy things. I'm going to read you, and I've got this now, players that Spurs are missing currently. I think I've got it on my phone. Let's get it. Really should have been prepared. I thought I was. So far, the January window, we have lost Johnson, who's been sold. Obviously, a couple of youngsters as well. Bergval, we'll talk about him in a minute, out for 3 months. Kudus, out for 3 months. Davis, out for the rest of the season. Richarlison, 2 months. Bentincourt, 3 months. This is not including Madison and Kulu, who are already out. And Polinia, who is injured currently. We're not sure how serious it is, but we have been told the club are really concerned about it because apparently he's been playing kind of with this injury, managing it a little bit. And that's why he hasn't been playing as much because he's been carrying this knock. But apparently it's worse now and it could keep him out for a while. So all those injuries, and including Madison and Kulusevski, and we have brought in Conor Gallagher as the only signing in this January window. Now, I'm the biggest Frank out, maybe not the biggest, but I don't think he's a man to take us forward. But I do feel sorry for him because he is working with the bare bones at the moment. We also have the likes of Mawani, who doesn't want to be here. Dragushin, who's looking for a move out of the club. Tell, who's been treated terribly, I think, also now wants out of the club. Players that don't want to be here, lots of injuries. The manager might be going, he might be staying. The club's a mess. And reading last night's links, and they seem to be quite serious links, I am really concerned. Our goalkeeper's not good enough. We all know that. You know, he's an okay shot stopper, good shot stopper. Crap with his feet. We need to be replaced in the summer. It looks like we might be doing a swap deal with West Ham where they take Kinski, who's not a bad keeper. He would go straight in as West Ham's number 1, I think, and bring in their number 2, Hermanson, who, let's be honest, we've seen him a couple of times. He's not the best, and he's West Ham's number 2. He wouldn't get in as our number 3 as far as I'm concerned. And then the links to Somerville, which for me, oh, I'm absolutely livid. Livid. Guys, drop a comment and let me know what you think about Somerville. This guy isn't fit to play for Spurs, and maybe I'm being a bit pompous now. This guy's no better than Tau. He's no better than Odegaard. He had one good half against Spurs, and suddenly, what a surprise! Spurs are in for him. I just think the scouting is so lazy. If we were to spend 25 million on Somerville, for me, that just sums up where we are as a club and our scouting at this club. Absolutely shocking. Now, other links I'm quite happy with. We've been linked with Curtis Jones. I like him as a player. He's been there, seen it, done it. He's played for the champions. He's played a lot of games last season in a title winning side. Good player, good player, a bit of creativity about him. But please, Somerville, absolutely not. The West Ham number 3, absolutely not. And guys, drop a comment and let me know what you think about the links we have had last night and today. I'm lost with them all. I got to be honest, I'm lost with them all. Nasty Ninja, let's go through the chat. Says, does this club have any aspirations to be a top 4-1 ever again? Certainly not showing such ambition with players like this considered. Just not good enough. I agree 100%. Listen, I'm not looking for players up here. I know we can't get the elite, right? But we surely we can go for under that. I feel like we're now scraping the barrel. It's starting to get desperate, I think, for Spurs. It's almost like, oh shit, we've only got like 10 days left of the window. We better go and try and get a few deals done. 150 million Spurs had to spend apparently. So far, our net spend this window has been 0. We sold Johnson. We brought in Gallagher. Don't know where this Souza is. Don't even know who signed him. But we've also got a couple of players out on loan that could leave full time. So it kind of evens itself out. I don't know. This next 10 days is going to be an interesting one for Spurs. Obviously with what's going on the football pitch as well, which we will talk about. Barbaric is in, said, good morning, Nige. Our scouting and recruitment team needs sacking immediately. What are we doing here? I like it. Smash the sub if you haven't already and hit the like button to help push this channel out there. Absolutely 100% agree with absolutely everything you said, mate. The recruitment, shocking. The worst recruitment, I think, in the Premier League. I think we are terrible at bringing players in. And if we're being linked to 2 West Ham players, no disrespect, the only players we should be going for anywhere near West Ham are Bowen and Paqueta. Paqueta's already said he wants to go back to Brazil. The only player we should be going for who plays for West Ham is Bowen. Somerville, for me, is just adding more deadwood onto the deadwood we have. Siphon in saying, come on, you Spurs. Let's hope they do some work, mate. Big up to you. Simon Cohen's in said, morning, Nige. Where is the signings? I know, mate. I know. It is so frustrating. It is so frustrating, isn't it? We can only hope that they do something. But the thing is, we all know that something's probably not going to be anywhere near enough. Let's hope they do. We will get into it. Scott Colliver's in, said, hello, Nigel chat. Good morning to you, Scott. I hope you're well, buddy. Simon Cohen says, crap. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Dino's in the house. Morning, dude. Good morning to you, buddy. I hope you still got that smile on your face, mate. Forget transfers for a little while. Burks, born and bred, said Jimmy Somerville would be a better signing. He would be. Yeah, he would be. He's got some moves as well, hasn't he? Queen Ellie said, no to Somerville for me now. He's not good enough. I agree 100%. He is not a needle mover, in my opinion. Simon saying, get your boots out, Nige. Oh, nah. God, I'd love to, wouldn't we all love to play for Spurs? But I'd hate it in this day and age. It would be horrific. One bad touch, Christ, you'd get booed something chronic. But yeah, Siphon is saying, why can't we go in for Bowen? Then maybe Kudus and him could play and would play amazing together. Again, I wouldn't be again. That's the kind of player we should be going for, though, right? If we got this kind of money to spend, go for a Bowen, go for a Bowen because Somerville's not it. He's not it. We know that. It's a desperate signing for me. But listen, that's just my opinion, and I think other people will have other opinions. Simon said, Jimmy Somerville's better. Indeed, we've got a different opinion here from John Stokes. Big up, John. Hope you are, mate. Says, morning, nice. Somerville's a quality winger. Better than Tao or Odebert by a country mile. Okay. Fair dues, mate. Obviously. And then he says, I watch Somerville every week and he's good. Listen, I'm not going to confess to say I watch Somerville every week because I don't. I just think it's a bit of a lazy one for me. I don't know. For me, is a no. I want us to go we've gone from these top wingers that apparently we're after, your Savinho's, and I'm not saying Savinho's top, but, playing with the top clubs and, Lookmans and players like that. And now we're going to Somerville's. For me, it just feels like a really big drop off and a bit desperate just because he had one good half against Spurs. Burke's born and bred says Spurs making out once again that they want to buy from Harrods, yet go to Poundland instead and hoping the fans won't notice. Absolutely agree, mate. Siphoning, hopefully no signings. Really, so far means a massive transfer coming up. Hopefully, mate. We can only hope, right? Because it's going to be tough. And Kudu says, oh, I cannot read your name. So I'm going to say 5463. Sorry, buddy. I am terrible at reading, especially when there's just a lot of K's and L's in there. When are we going to get a manager that has some self-respect and sort out the dressing room and get rid of 60% of these players and stand on business? I agree 100%, mate. Absolutely bang on. But I'm guessing I'm not sure in this day and age whether managers have much of a choice. Do you know what I mean? I get the impression that managers come in and they are just there to manage the team. It's not a question. They don't get much choice in the players. They might get a list of 5. Which one would you like? Okay, I'd prefer him, but anyone would do. And that's how I feel it is at clubs now, which is it is what it is. Mark Swift said, morning, mate. Good morning to you, buddy. I hope you're well. He also says, hit that like and sub. You can be a channel member by hitting join. Thank you. You absolutely can. You can be a channel member. And super chats, super stickers are all available. I won't ask for them. I just did. But if you want to, you are more than welcome. John says, when you get a chance, watch Somerville. He is good. I look at him. I see what he does. Still not convinced, though, mate. I'm still not convinced. The Big D says, morning, Nigel. Good morning to you, the Big D. And John Stokes says, I want Bowen, but he won't come to us unless West Ham get relegated. And that's a good excuse for him to leave. Yeah, and it would also be a good excuse for Spurs to buy him, right? That's what we do. We buy from relegated sides. There is also news out today. I mean, it was on last night on Last Word on Spurs about Pochettino possibly coming back. This is what was said. Pochettino wants to come back to the Premier League and would jump at the chance to do so. He would also be keen to rejoin Tottenham, but after the World Cup. Don't rule out Pochettino, but don't rule out another name should Tottenham make a change from Thomas Frank mid-season. Pochettino is of interest to the Tottenham board and could agree to join post-World Cup with an interim covering until the World Cup is over. So, guys, is that a thing? Could Pochettino be on his way back to Spurs? I think it's just, for me, it's just kind of adding 2 and 2 together and coming up with 6. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether Poch is the answer. Listen, I'd love him back for romantic reasons. He gave me some of the best football I've seen as a Spurs fan. But whether I'd want him back as a manager, I'm not sure. Again, does it matter if they're not going to get backed? And it doesn't look like the managers are getting backed, does it? Let's face it. We've got the kids in now and they're doing nothing. We are doing nothing in the transfer window. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Samuel's in. Big up. Samuel says Somerville would be a good signing for Aston Villa. Quite possibly. Quite possibly. Look, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on Somerville, but for me, I'm just not sure he is the answer we're looking for. Good, maybe short-term cover, but we've got that money burning a hole in our pocket. For me, go out, spend 25 million on a Curtis Jones, but then spend 50, 60 million on a top winger. That's just me. That's just me. That's just where I am. 5463 says managers get a payout when they're fired. They need to stand on business. And if they get fired, so be it. Even Van der Ven, if he thinks he's bigger than our club, send him to play with the kids. Van der Ven's an interesting one, isn't it? He has been linked strongly with Liverpool at the moment. I did think Liverpool would go in for him. Let's see what happens in the summer. But we could be looking to lose him. Barbaric saying Somerville looks no better than Odobert or Tau, not good enough. I just think he doesn't, like I say, he doesn't move the needle. Tau, Odobert here. Somerville might be up here, but I want here. I want that distinct difference. I'm not sure whether Somerville gives us that. John saying Bowen won't come beforehand. No, he won't. He wouldn't come before the season's end. Absolutely not. He wouldn't jump ship. He's a captain. But yeah, um, yeah, he won't come beforehand. Lost where I was then. John saying I don't want Poch. Never go back to an X. No, never go back to an X. I've made that mistake a few times. Don't do it, kids. It's not good. 5463 says Poch needs to be director of football. So when we fire managers, he can be interim, buy players for the club. I mean, there's an idea, isn't it? Get him in as director of football. I don't think he'd want that. I don't think he'd want that personally. He likes to be in it, doesn't he? Let's see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Pochettino. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Frank, isn't it? Because if Frank is to leave, if Frank leaves over the next couple of weeks, whether it be after Sunday's game, whether it be a few weeks later, what are we going to do? Are we going to get an interim in? And if we do, it will suggest to me that Poch may be coming in. Or are we going to go straight off for a full-time manager? I don't know. I don't know. Everything's in the air at the moment. I think that's the problem, isn't it? Everything is in the air. We just don't know whether we're coming or going at the moment at Tottenham Hotspur. Guys, if you haven't liked the stream, smash a like. It is so important. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I'm chasing down 1,370. I'm 5 subs off it. So any help would be much appreciated. Hotspur Flicks is in. Said, morning all. Somerville has one good game. All of a sudden, Spurs want him. No, thank you. I'm in total agreement with you there. He might be decent, but I just think Spurs are going for him off the back of one good half. It wasn't even one good game. It was one good half against us. I just think our recruitment and our scouting is so poor that, come on, Tottenham, sort it out. Look for players that I hate the fact that we play against a player and then we go for him. I feel like we've done it. Gallagher we went for because Bentancur got injured. We know all about Gallagher. Good signing though. Solanke had one good season. Oh, I know. Let's buy him. Richarlison. Oh, he's not great, but we can get him on the cheap. Get out, do your due diligence, and bring players in that are going to make this club better. I'm not sure that Somerville is. Listen, if Somerville comes in, I will absolutely back him to the hilt. But for me, we can do better. Barbaric says Poch appointment would be to please the fans and Enoch get another 2 years of sabotage in the club. It possibly Barbaric. Yeah, it would please the fans, wouldn't it? But it will certainly please Sheriff anyway. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'd love Poch back. But surely Enoch, if they brought Poch, they would have to back him, wouldn't they? The fans would run riot. I think that's when you might see these protests really ramp up. If they brought Poch back and didn't back him, I think maybe as a fan base, then we might actually turn on Enoch. And so yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what Enoch do. The Big D says Somerville is same level signing as Tau and Odobert, just another gamble. I agree. Andrew Gregory says, morning Nige, Lang and Rob McKenzie are clowns. They should never be in a job. Anyone like Somerville, Spurs see as an opportunity. We're run by amateurs. Again, 100%, mate. This is what I feel like it's an opportunist signing. It's not. Where is planning in this club? Where have we planned to sign players? Where have we said, this is our plan? January the 1st. Bang, bang, bang. Bish, bash, bosh. Those are the players we wanted. We've got them in. But no, we are scraping around towards the end of the window looking for opportunist signings. I mean, the goalkeeper situation, Pinsky going to West Ham and getting Their young keeper Hermanson is our number 2. What? What? So we're making our squad weaker to make West Ham stronger? Are we okay? I mean, what are we doing? Tottenham are a joke at the moment, and it is infuriating. It really is. Mark Swift said, I'm okay with Poch coming back. Yeah, I'm okay as well. As long as he's backed, he's got to be backed. It is an itch that needs scratching, and hopefully we'll all get to scratch it soon. John Stokes said, Aston Villa are better than us. 100% agree with you there, mate. Aston Villa are a level above us because they are a proper run club, a well run club. They have a good manager and they buy properly. Listen, and I guess this is what we got to look at, isn't it? We got to look at the Villa model. And Aston Villa do sign players that maybe we would look at and be like, nah, they're not good enough for Spurs. But they play for Villa and Villa are flying. Anana is an instant. When I can remember he was at Everton, Spurs were linked with him. A lot of fans were saying, nah, not good enough for Tottenham. He's gone to Villa. He's doing well for Villa. He's part of a well-oiled squad. Tielemans was another one. I remember being linked with him and thinking, I'm not sure about him. Gone to Villa, top squad player. So Villa do it. They get the players in, and maybe if some of it went to Villa, he'd smash it now. But so yeah, let's see. I agree. I think Villa are better than Spurs, a lot better. It shows in the league as well. Shows in the league position. Ghosted saying, big up, nice, big up to you, Ghosted. I hope you are well. And then he says 22 days into the window and one signing, ENIC out. Yeah, not only that, mate. Injuries galore and players who want out of the club. Tell, not happy at all. He wants gone. He wants out. Mawani, what a wasted signing. Most disappointing signing in many, many years for Tottenham for me. Mawani wants out. He wants out. He's not happy here. He wants minutes. He's not getting them. When he is, he's not trying. That's 2 players. Dragishin wants out of Spurs. He's crying to go back to Italy. 3 players that want out. And why aren't we facilitating that? We should have a plan. Bring players in. Get rid of the players that don't want to be here. Spurs are a joke. An absolute joke. I don't care who they bring in now. We could bring in 3 top quality players now right at the end of the window. Don't care because we're out of the FA Cup. We're out of the Cup because we didn't bring anyone in early. Yeah, not happy. Who knows? If we had brought a couple of players in, we might have beat West Ham. Frank wouldn't be in this situation where he's literally clinging to a thread with his job. Samuel saying, would you take Marcus Rashford at Tottenham? Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day and especially on a Sunday. Rashford is a top player. He went stout at United and he's gone to Barcelona and he looks amazing. And he's another player who we were linked with and a lot of fans were like, no, not good enough. Not good enough. I would take Rashford, but I think Barcelona are gonna buy him, aren't they? I would think. Big up to the Big D who has gifted 1 Pure Coys TV membership. You lucky person. Guys, if you got it, give Big D a thank you and appreciate you, Big D. Thank you very much, mate. John says, don't judge a player on 1 game. Watch him over a few games. He pisses over Tau and Odebaur. Fair play. Fair play. I think I'm going to have a little look at Somerville. And Barbaric says, Big D, thank you very much. You legend. So congrats, Barbaric. You are now part of the Pure Coys family. I think you might have been anyway, but thank you, man. Appreciate it. Samuel says, how about Roberto De Zerbi to replace Thomas Frank? Guys, I'm not sure about De Zerbi. Let me know what you think about De Zerbi. I'm not sure about him. I think he's talented, but I'm not sure whether the board could handle him or he could handle the board. I think it could be great car crash TV. It could be interesting watching a bit like Conte was. Yeah, guys, let us know. De Zerbi, would you like him at Spurs? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about De Zerbi. Undecided. I thought he had 1 good season at Brighton, didn't he? His next season wasn't so good. But I don't know. He's doing good. He's doing a good job over at Marseille. Is he still at Marseille? I lose track of where he is, but yeah, decent manager. Not saying I wouldn't take him, just be interesting to see how him and the board got on. John says, I challenge anyone to watch Somerville over 5 games and then come back and tell me he's not good. I think we need to do that, guys. Let's give him a watch. But as it wasn't he injured for a long time? Um, I'm not sure. Listen, I think listen, it's all personal opinion, isn't it? He might well be better than Tao and Odegaard. For me, he just doesn't. He's just not that needle mover. Um, I've kind of got it into my head because we were linked with Savinho, Marmouches, players like that. That's the kind of level that I was hoping for. So, but it is what it is. We are, and I've been saying it for a while. We are a mid to lower Premier League side now. So maybe Somerville's our level. Maybe Somerville is our level. Cookie's in the house then. Morning, Nige. Good morning to you, Cookie. Straight after this, the breakfast brunch is back. So get over to the 2 Mark show for that. And 5463 said, I'm from South Africa, mate. I can't even go to the local sports bar with my Spurs jersey because people laugh at me. We get it in England as well, mate. We get laughed at a lot. So, you're not on your own there, buddy. The press is in. It says, big up, Nigel, and everyone in the chat. We have to ask the question of why Spurs are continuing to add squad fillers when the first team and the players need valuable competition. I think this, for me, is why I'm against the Somerville signing. And it's not that he might be better than Ellen Odegaard, but I don't know. I just want to get players into that first team who really take us up a level. But let's see what happens. John said West Ham's best players are Bowen, Somerville, and Juve, the defender. Golden Sun send top price tickets, and you give me Jimmy Somerville. Great songs, great songs. Andrew says we're run by a group of clowns. None of them have any football knowledge. It's blind leaving the blind in the boardroom. And this is, for me, the most frustrating things, isn't it? One of the most frustrating things about being a Spurs fan at the moment is nobody upstairs knows anything about football. They are all businessmen, all businessmen. And I understand football is a business, but it's also a sport. And we need someone in there, someone in that boardroom who understands Tottenham Hotspur, who understands how football is run. And for me, that's why I think we are desperately in need of a couple of ex-Tottenham players who know the club to be in that boardroom. And I'm not talking about a Glenn Hoddle and players like that. I mean, that would be great. But, someone like, I don't know whether they'd be up for someone like a David Howells, played a lot of games for Spurs. I used to love Howells when he used to play for Tottenham. That kind of player. And, even a Michael Dawson, that kind of energy in the boardroom. I don't think they take it, but someone who knows the club. That's what we need, in my opinion. John says, why do fans think we are better than we are? Half the players are dross. Well, this is true. This is true. We do think that. And yeah, like I say, we are a lower to mid-table Premier League side at the moment. I just for me, John, it's because we were linked with these big name players, and suddenly it feels like Tottenham are just like, okay, we're not going to go for those big names. And maybe those big names wouldn't come. Maybe those big names wouldn't come. Listen, if Somerville comes in, as I said, we will support him, and he may surprise a lot of us. He may surprise a lot of us. Let's see what happens. Barbaric said, we've said this for the past 17 managers. The board have to back him, and we're still here. Potts will not be backed by these incompetent owners. And this is a concern, isn't it? This is a concern. They probably are not going to get backed. And we're just going to keep going around in circles. This is going to be a continuous thing for, I reckon, at least the next 5 or 6 years. We'll probably go through another 4 managers before Enix sell, or if they sell. So let's just jump on board and enjoy it, I guess. Guys, over 50 in the house, please smash that like, hit the subscribe button if you haven't as well. No subscribers yet today, so Come on, guys, let's hit that subscribe, but hit that like. It is so important. Let's get over 50 likes for the show. Andrew Gregory said Frank actually said before Christmas that they'd had meetings about the transfer window and the plans were in place. Lies, mate, isn't it? Everything feels like lies with this club. You know what were they doing right between August the 31st, September the 1st, and January the 1st? What are they doing in their job? I mean, these guys are hired, right? This is their job to look for players and get a plan in place. I'm sure they just rock up. They go in. They're like, "Oh, what are we going to do today? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to put pure breakfast with pure? Nah, no. We'll wait till our football heritage comes on at 10. Um, I'm sure they do that. They do nothing. Sit with cups of tea and watch YouTube, maybe, or watch Love Island. Who knows? They certainly don't do their jobs. That's for certain. Queen Ellie says, Nige, we have to sign experienced quality players, not wet behind the ear players like Somerville. Well, Somerville's quite experienced, isn't he? How old is he? He's 24, 25. Um, but yeah, we do need that. I don't know. For me, we just need that quality. We just need that quality. I don't mind signing young players if they're quality. I would love an Agaluche, and he's what 23. Um, but he's quality. You know, it's horses for courses, isn't it? We all kind of want different things, and let's hope the board do something and bring somebody in, or at least two players in. The press says they will hear the excuses as to why Spurs are going for Somerville. If people are happy that Tottenham buy non-needle movers, then where's the incentive for Spurs to buy better? Agreed. Agreed. John says Levy got Tau because Bayern still owed us for money for the Kane deal. Championship level player. Been really, yeah, Tau tries hard. I'll give him that. He does work hard. He does try, but he's not at the quality to take us forward. And listen, Frank clearly thinks that because he drops him whenever he can. So I think Tao will be gone this January. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Tao is gone. And maybe we're bringing Somerville in as a replacement for Tao, and it's like for like. Who knows? Who knows? Burke's born and bred said a large Viv and the rest of the board need to be held accountable and actually meet us fans and hear how pissed off we are. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Absolutely agree. 100%. John says, no, Rashford, another overrated player. I like Rashford. I like him. I think he went stout at United. Bit greedy at times, but I do like him. Queen Eddie says, Ndombele beats Moani in disappointment, but I get your point. We can't just settle with Gallagher. With all our injuries, they are dropping like flies. We need 4 more signings. I agree. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get 4 more signings. I think if we get 2, I think we'd have to be content with that. I think if anyone has said at the start of the window we're going to get 3 players that go straight into our first team in January, I think we'd all be happy with that, right? But so far it's been really disappointing. There's no doubt about that. John says Mawani is rubbish. He's got as much energy as a tortoise. He has, isn't he? He just looks so disinterested when he plays for Tottenham. You know, you've got to remember this is a player who turned us down literally 12 months previous. And it got to the point where nobody wanted him, or nobody seemingly wanted him. He was getting no minutes at PSG. Juventus couldn't afford him. And it's like, oh shit, where do I go? Oh, I'll have to go to Spurs then. You know, makes you wonder if he was actually ever injured in the first place, that bad back. Maybe he was just depressed and didn't want to play. Who knows? He certainly don't look interested. And yeah, send him back. Queen Ellie says, Deserby, not quite there for me. I'm undecided too. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. The press says, a big up John Stokes. So Rashford is good enough for Barcelona, but not good enough for Spurs. It is, and this is the beauty of football, isn't it? That we all have different opinions. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Some people love Rashford, some people don't rate him. I'll be the first to admit, when Rashford was at United at the end, I was a bit like, oh, don't want him. He's a bit lazy, don't look like he's interested. A bit like Moani. Clearly, he wanted out. He went to Villa, tore it up a little bit, and then since he's gone to Barcelona, he's just exploded. And yeah, now I'm looking at it thinking, wow, I wish that we had got Rashford in. But sometimes players go stale at clubs, don't they? And it just doesn't work for whatever reason, falling out with the managers or the board or even the fans. It is what it is. Barbaric said De Zerbi is a walking time bomb. Will not work with this board. I agree with you there, mate. It could be interesting though. It would be fireworks. There's no doubt about that. Samuel said Tottenham Hotspur need a world-class goalkeeper like Paul Robinson. Oh, I absolutely loved Paul Robinson back in the day. He was a cracking goalkeeper. Loved him. One of my favourite ever Spurs players, Paul Robinson. Just sad at that moment for England when Gary Neville passed it back and it hit a bump and went over his foot. Really affected his confidence, really hit his confidence for a couple of years. Was never really the same keeper after that. But loved Robbo. Loved Robbo. And he's another one. Loves Tottenham. Gets it. Always speaks highly of Spurs. Yeah. Always got time for Paul Robinson. Queen Ellie said, yeah, he's at Marseille. They lost 3-0 to a poor Liverpool 2. Yeah, they did lose last night, didn't they? But they have been doing well. Does Højbjerg still plays for Marseille as well, doesn't he? Queen Ellie said, Marmoush would be a great signing. We must not settle for poor man's level of play. And I think this is what we want, isn't it? As fans. And I think this is nothing against the likes of Somerville's or the likes of even, remember we were linked with Harvey Elliott in the summer. It's not against these level of players. But I think as Spurs fans, we're just so desperate for success, right? We've just become champions of Europe. We won the Europa League. And we just want us to see us raise the bar, and we haven't at all. And it's really disappointing. It's like, come on, Tottenham, show us how big you are. And, at least make effort to get these players. Marmoush is somebody I would love. Whether he'd come to Spurs or not, I don't know. Whether City would sell him or not, I don't know. But you know, we don't know until we try, right? We don't know until we try. John Stokes says we need to get rid of Vicario, Romero, Porro, Bentancur, Sartel, Odegaard, Mawani. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be against selling any of them. I'll be honest with you. I think Porro's been disappointing. Bentancur's done. Sar's not good enough. Tel's not good enough. Odegaard's seen moments, but not enough moments. Mawani, rubbish. Vicario, rubbish. Romero would be the only one I would question slightly. But again, listen, I'm not against us selling anyone. If we get a good price for him, if someone come in with an £80 million bid for Romero, I'd snap their hand off. Absolutely snap their hand. And we got big old Kevin Danzo. We don't need Romero. Golden Sun said, compete in all competitions, and you give me Somerville and Souza. It's not raining, and I'm getting wet. I love that analogy. That is cracking. The Prez says it's the same as last year and the year before that. Spurs always waste the January window signing players late, so Spurs miss out on the FA Cup games and the league games in January. 100%, mate. I'm so fed up. We could have beaten Villa if we had just a couple more players in now. If we had signed Gallagher a week earlier, and he'd been in the side. If we'd brought that left winger in, maybe brought a striker in, we could have had a chance of winning that game. And instead, we're out. Our FA Cup runs over for another year. And the last FA Cup win was 1991 when I was just a teenager. Jesus. Queen Ellie saying Fofana, Diamonde, Lookman, Akaluche would be my four. Absolutely. They are the level for me. Agaluche, I love. Think he's a great player. Lookman, as he's got older, has become a really, really good all-round player. Diamonde, not sure about Diamonde. I haven't seen enough of him, but he's exciting. And yeah, if I had the choice, get him in. Fofana, I really like as well. So there are certainly really good players out there. Rodney says, big up John is right. He's a good player. Come on, you Spurs. Fair play. There's a few in here that like Somerville, a few in here that aren't too keen on Somerville. And this is what's great, again, about being a Spurs fan, about being a football fan. We've all got different opinions, and I love that. Andrew Gregory says 25 years of kicking the can down the road. Absolutely. That can is battered and bruised now. Golden Sun says the board are making big bucks, fleecing the fans. Mission accomplished. They are. They are. And as fans, we will keep going. But attendances are dropping, which is good. It's great news for us fans because with the attendances dropping, I think there's only like 52,000 at the game in midweek in the Champions League. You know, that's 10,000 seats less than there should be. And, you know, how long before the board say, you know what, we can't do this anymore. We need to start really making this side good, get the fans back on side. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next year or two. The press says that De Zerbi is at Marseille. He is flammable and would be another Conte waiting to go off. Painting Spurs in even more of a bad light. Yeah, quite possibly. I don't think it would end well with De Zerbi in charge. I really don't. Queen Ellie saying Dawson working for Sky and has a great podcast with Ledney. I'd get him to quit doing that and drill our defence. Learn them. Yeah, absolutely. You know, someone like a Ledney King on the board. Why not? I know he's an ambassador. Get rid of that job. Get him on the board. Get him, you know, planning for Spurs' future. You know, a man who knows Tottenham, knows the heart of Spurs, comes from the area, you know? We desperately, desperately need that in the club. The press is saying, big up Rodney Martin. Question, is Somerville good enough to play in the Champions League against Europe's best? I mean, it's a good point, but we're not going to be in the Champions League a lot longer. It is what it is. Golden says there's anybody who says we can't get to big players, just look at the players in Saudi. He's right. Money talks. Money does talk. But there are some good players in Saudi that we could actually pick up. You know, obviously, um, you've got the ex-Brentford striker, his name's gone totally out of my head. But there are players out there that we could pick up, and I don't know why we don't go for them. Of course, they want so much money that they'd have to take a massive pay cut to come to Spurs. Queen Ellie says, what I meant is he's only 36 Premier matches and he's 24 most career in the Championship. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, absolutely. Spent a lot of time injured for West Ham as well. Am I right there? I think he spent quite a bit of his time injured at West Ham. Vinny Guy, big up, mate. Says sometimes shocking therapy we need. Our owners need to listen. Trump speech at Davos. ENIC, at least pay for your own expenses for F's sake. Absolutely. Absolutely. The press said, like Sarah Harding, the Spurs board, money for nothing. Ozza 4872 says we've gone from Savinio to Somerville. What the F? And I think that's where I am. It's nothing against the player as such. Our levels have just dropped, and I'm just like, oh, brilliant. You get excited about the possible players you're going to bring in, and then you end up getting linked. Listen, it is only a rumor at the moment. It may not happen, but for me, it was just, I'd be amazed if West Ham sold Somerville, to be honest, because whereas a lot of us fans think, no, he's not a needle mover for Tottenham, he is doing well for West Ham, and West Ham need all the players they can get at the moment. Green Ellie said Rashford is a very good player and scored goals. We need goals. We so do, don't we? We are so lacking in goals. When you're thinking that Van der Ven and Romero are two of our top goal scorers, that's how much we have fallen. How many goals does Tell score? Tell's got 3 goals. Odegaard, couple at best. You know, Kudus, a couple before he got injured. You know, okay, Richarlison might have had 8 or 9. But apart from that, Mawani, none in the Premier League. You know, Solanke's just come back. We are so missing goal scorers. And just think, we used to have Kane, Son. Imagine if we had Kane and Son now. We're going back in time, and we're thinking about Kane and Son in the end of January. Kane would probably have like 20 goals already. Son would have like 12, 13 goals already. And we are just so short of goals. It's unreal. Golden Sun says with Romero, Van der Ven, Danzo, Dragic and Davis and Buskovich coming back, doesn't that scream a 3 at the back? I mean, yes. Yes, I love to play three at the back, and I cannot wait to get Vuskovic back next season. I think he's going to be an absolute star at Spurs. Another young player. We are going to have to give him time, but he's gone out on loan against Germany and at Hamburg, and he is absolutely smashing it there. Absolutely smashing it. He is going to be a player. We will do well to keep hold of him. The press says, big up a user. The standards are on the floor. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. We are what we are at the moment, guys. And I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Mawani has that bewildered look that he doesn't want to be here. He does, doesn't he? I think that's just his general face, though, right? There's nothing against him. Have you seen pictures of him, like when he's out and about or when he's doing like modeling work or whatever? He's got that face. He just doesn't smile a lot, but he just doesn't look interested, does he, at all? Barbaric said, Eric Thorstef for me. Yeah, he was a great goalkeeper for Tottenham, wasn't he? But yeah, I remember his first game against Nottingham Forest. Wasn't that game on the big match or something? It was live. I know that because I can remember watching it at White Hart Lane. And I'm pretty certain we lost 2-1. And I know for a fact he let one through his arms straight away. And it's like, oh, what have we signed here on his debut? But he was brilliant. Eric the Viking was a brilliant Tottenham goalkeeper. Golden Sun sent Tao and I are thinking the same thing. Get him out. Yeah, get him gone. It's no good having him. He don't want to be here, and we don't want him. So what's the point? What an absolute waste of money. Mathers Tao was. Aussie Coys says, big up, Nige. Big up to you. I hope you're well. And then says Somerville again, it's the cheaper option. And again, this is why I'm a little disappointed. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against the signing cheap players because I think as scouts and our recruitment, you don't have to spend 70, 80 million on players to get good players in. But I just don't think we've scouted Somerville, I think is a lazy option again. It's not like Spurs have gone out, oh, we're going to fly to Azerbaijan and watch some 22-year-old who's ripping it up in their league. No, no, no. We just stick Sky on and watch Somerville on the TV. It's just lazy and look at his stats. For me, yeah, listen, again, he might be a decent signing. I just find it lazy from Tottenham again. Queen Ellie says if we do buy Somerville, he's Dutch, but has a Brazilian signed in four names. There, here's his four. I'm not even going to begin to read it out. His four name: Crescencio, Gilbert, Salvero, Ciro, Somerville. Wow, that is a mouthful, an absolute mouthful. Guys, if you haven't, smash that like, hit the subscribe button. Ouch, I really would appreciate it as I smack my finger on the desk. Ozzy Coy says Rob McKenzie needs to be scrutinized a lot more. Terrible scouting. I agree. I agree. And John says, did you know the players most responsible for goals against us are Vicario, Romero, and Porro? Yeah, yeah. Listen, I don't rate Porro. I'd quite happily see him sold tomorrow. I think we could probably get 50 million for him. I'd quite happily see us sell Porro, bring someone else in, someone better, someone more solid, someone more defensive. Romero, I love Romero, but at the same time, again, if someone offered 80 million, happy days, snap your hand off. And Vicario for me, 100% has to go. Has to go. He is not the man. We need better. We need better than Vicario, in my opinion. And another one we could probably get 30, 40 million pounds. Well, maybe 30 million pounds for. Queen Ellie says, Eric the Viking, you shall not pass. He was a big old lad, wasn't he? A big old lad. Hammer Time saying, what makes you Spurs supporters think West Ham will sell Somerville to Spurs anyway? Absolutely bang on, mate. And big up, welcome to the channel. I agree. West Ham, they would be mad to sell Somerville right now. They're in a relegation battle. And listen, if they sell Somerville to Spurs, it's almost like saying, we're going down, you know? And at the end of the day, they are not far off. They are not far off. Couple of wins. They've already beaten us. If they pick up 6 points out of their next 12 even, suddenly they probably would have caught on Forest or whoever they're just behind. And Yeah, they've got to give themselves every chance of staying up. I don't see there's any way in which we get Somerville off West Ham. I think they'd be crazy to sell. At the same time, I don't think Spurs should be helping West Ham and giving them Kinski. I really don't, because I think Kinski goes in straight as their number one, and I think he makes a difference. I think that's absolutely crazy. Selling our number two to get a worse number two and helping West Ham. I don't get it, but it is what it is. What do I know? Golden Sun says January window is always hard. Just ask Palace, who signed Johnson on the first day. Exactly. It's really not hard at all. It's all excuses. It is all excuses. Barbaric said, have you noticed since we said we're going to the data route, we've got worse. Maybe they should stop using the free trial data and software and upgrade. Yeah, pay for the upgrade. Pay the $10.99 a month. It's not difficult. Um, yeah, crazy. For me, football's gone. We use them. We see what we see on the pitch. And stats are so misleading, aren't they? And everything for positive and for negative. So listen, it's not for me, this data analytic crap. It might work for some clubs. For me, it doesn't work for Tottenham. But that's just my opinion. Queen Ellie says Porro showed the level he can play against Dortmund, but his performances have been poor, so inconsistent. He has to be more consistent than he is. And he does have it in him. But for me, I'm just, you know, when you get to a point where you just feel like that about the Spurs. I feel like that about nearly every Spurs player at the moment. That's what I mean. I don't care if we sell anyone. I don't care if Van der Ven goes. Sure, I'll be disappointed. I don't care if Romero goes. Don't care if anyone goes. They can all leave before I care. I'm just not interested. I want us to sign players who really want to play for Spurs and who are decent, who are good players. But hey, let's see what happens over the next 18 months. Is going to be interesting. Queen Ellie says, barbaric, that's hilarious, man. Absolutely. Hammer Time says you won't get even Tony. Oh, we probably won't get Ivan Tony, no. But you never know. You never know. Let's see what happens. Listen, we need somebody. We need a striker. And I think we will be looking. I think we will be looking in this last week or so for a striker, especially with Richarlison out, which could be a season-ending injury. We don't know. It's 2-3 months. That's pretty much the end of the season, right? Richarlison, Solanke's our only fit striker, and he's not fit. We have Scarlett, and Mwani doesn't want to be it. So I think Mwani leaves right at the end of the window. I think we bring a striker in. Of what quality, that's another question altogether. But let's see what happens. Eureka Kakaka says Somerville looks better than Savio, to be fair. Well, he's playing more, isn't he, at the moment, I guess. So, but big up Eureka. Good to see you in. Queen Ellie says hilarious free data software. And we've got incompetence of Lang. Oh, he is rubbish, isn't he? Doesn't it annoy people that someone could be on so much money and be so bad at his job? I'd love his job. Guys, 60 in the house plus. Smash that like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I am 4 subs short of 1,370, so any help would be much appreciated. Ozzy said you buy average players and championship players, you become that team. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Listen, I'm not asking for a squad or a team of absolute superstars. I'm really not. You look at the teams, the best teams who won Premier Leagues, and they don't have a team full of superstars. You have a team that have good pros. You look at United when they used to win the league every year. They had Wes Brown. They had players like that. The players that were just really good squad players would come in and do a job. And I'm not against that at all, but we need to make that first team really good at the moment. And we are so short. Eureka says West Ham aren't selling this window. Maybe the summer when relegated. Agreed. Nothing's going to happen this window. I think the Somerville thing is for the summer. There's no way they're going to be selling before the summer. But if we're going to buy from West Ham, Hammer Time, if we're going to buy from you guys, the only player I want is a Bowen. And that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. If West Ham go down, maybe. But I just, I don't see us buying from West Ham now until the summer. And for me, there's not many players I'd want now. Just so Majo, it says, didn't Ali go say nothing in Somerville and goalkeeper swap rumours? Yeah, he did. He did. I think I heard him say that this morning. Yeah, but listen, I don't know. They're all rumours, and I think we're still. Let's talk about Bergval quickly. We're talking about transfers coming in. The news coming out is that Bergval is going to miss 3 months of the season, which effectively is the rest of the season, right? So it's another midfielder we've lost. Guys, we have to do something, right? We now have Bentancur pretty much out for the season. Bergval pretty much out for the season. We're not sure what's happening with Polinia. It doesn't give us much in that midfield. It doesn't give us much in that midfield. We need to bring someone in. Are we going to do it? Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Hammer Time says, if you think you Spurs fans have a shit ownership, just thank your lucky stars you ain't got Sullivan. Yeah, I know. Um, yeah, I do feel for West Ham. I got a couple of West Ham mates, and they really do not like Sullivan. Sullivan is a terrible, terrible owner. He was a bad owner at Birmingham, though, wasn't he? And yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. It's sad for West Ham because you know what? We talk about, London derbies and we hate West Ham, we hate Chelsea. But you know what? It's great, isn't it? Having those London derbies in the Premier League. I love it when we play West Ham. I love it when we play Chelsea, even though we lose a lot of time, especially Chelsea. I don't want to lose that. So I don't really want West Ham to go down because we lose that London derby, that game when we can all have a bit of banter saying, oh, it's West Ham's cup final. And it's sad. It's sad that West Ham are not taken better care of, but it is what it is. Eureka says Tao scored 3 with not many minutes. You've got to look at minutes played, not just games. Absolutely. Listen, the manager doesn't seem to rate him, does he? For whatever reason, doesn't seem to rate him. As I've said before, one thing I like about Tao is that he's direct. He looks to go forward. Doesn't always work, but it is what it is. For me, though, he's just not at that quality we need. If we want to become that top 6 side, and I say become because we have fallen well short over the last couple of years. If we want to become that top 6 club again, we have to go out and we have to buy real quality and not potential. We have to buy quality now. Jimmy is in. Jimmy Hotspur, big up, Nige. Good morning. Big up to you, Jimmy. I hope you're well, mate. And Hammer Time says, Eureka, West Ham ain't going down just yet. Well, they're still there in with a shout, guys, aren't they? It's not over till it's over. Simon Cohen saying, please like and subscribe. Absolutely. Please like and subscribe, guys. Trying to build this channel up. It's a slow process, but hey, we love every minute of it. Barbaric saying, Queen Ellie, spot on. And Queen Ellie says, Somerville injured a lot. He'll fit in just fine next to with us and Nige. We have to get a spare injury. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we don't build a little hospital just on the side of the ground. We might as well. We have so many injuries. And last season, you know what? And I was one of them, blaming Ange for everything. Oh, it's the way we play. We're injuring all the players. We've got the same injuries this season with a different manager. Just different injuries. It's weird. These data analysts or whatever who look at when players are in the red, maybe they're not looking at them right. Maybe whoever's in charge is colorblind because we seem to be getting lots of injuries. Bernie's in, says Somerville, good player, but greedy and often makes the wrong decisions. Again, he'd probably fit in well at Spurs then. We have a lot of players like that. Aussie 4872, the press big up. We are shafted as usual. Yes, we are. And Queen Ellie said, Odebear, none in the Premier League, 1 goal, 2 assists in the Champions League. Odebear's a weird one, isn't he? Disappointing, but can do it when he wants to. It's just when he wants to, and that's the thing for me. Eureka Kaka coming in with the super sticker. Thank you so much, Eureka Kaka. Always generous to every single channel I see you on, mate. So thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Super chats are available, guys. Memberships are available. I don't ask for any of it. All I ask is that you hit that like button And if you haven't subscribed, you hit that subscribe button. It is totally and utterly free. Jimmy saying would be another easy, lazy purchase. Hardly ripped up the season, has he? No, I agree. He's just had one good half against us. Golden Sun saying Queen Eddie, just call him Jimmy. Eureka says, I love Odebear. He will only get better, unlike. Yeah, listen, if we're going to keep one of those front players like a Tau and Odebear, for me, Odebear would probably be the one to keep because I have seen enough in him to think that yes, he is really good. And I like Tau. I feel for him. I think he's going to be a good player in a couple of years. He will find his club. I think for Tau, it's a question of finding his club. I think if he finds a club where he is loved, and I know it sounds stupid, where he's loved, the fans love him, the manager loves him, he looks like the kind of player who just needs an arm around him and says, listen, you're a top player. Go play your game. And I think Tao will be a star. I really do. Just don't think it's going to happen at Tottenham. Queen Ellie said Mawani has tech, but no brain. But his brain doesn't kick in with his feet in front of goal. You're right. It's almost like he knows what he wants to do, but he can't. He just can't do it. Aussie Coys says Odebear is getting better. To be fair, he is. And Eureka Kaka saying people crying about Vicario. Pretty sure West Ham was the first corner we conceded all season. I think you might be right, guys. It is 9:30. There is so many chats that I've missed, and I am so sorry. Big up to John Fitzpatrick. I have got to hand you over to the two marks. I haven't put the thing in to send you over, but get over to the two mark show and say good morning to them. Side dancers in as well. Thank you so much, guys, for everyone that's joined me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Smash a like, hit the sub on the way out. Get over to the Two Mark Show and watch the breakfast brunch. And I will see you on the next stream. Have a great day, guys. I'll be back tomorrow morning, I think. Have a good one. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay pure Coys.